Hello everyone, Jen here. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. This time it is a big family home, but it is completely base game only. I did not think I was going to be able to do this. I know we have a lot in base game, especially with the updates we've gotten over the years, but it's still really minimal stuff, like objects and stuff. So I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to pull off such a big build and make it look good, especially with my skills and especially with my skills with bigger builds. But this one actually turned out really, really cute. I know I just did a limited pack build and I said I was going to alternate, do a limited pack build and then do a build for my save file where I just use any packs that I want. But I don't know, I just felt really inspired to do this one. I saw sort of a basic house shape that I really, really liked. It was a lot smaller than this one, but it still had the same basic shape. And I kind of wanted to do a house like that. And so I also just wanted to see if I could make it base game. Honestly, I have no better explanation for this one than that. I guess I felt in the mood for a base game build. Anyways, this is a little bit of a longer one. I'm sorry. It is a relatively good sized house, and I don't like speeding up my speed builds too much. I already feel like I kind of sped this one up a little bit too much. There are some parts that there's a lot of like that where the screen turns a lot. And being that I have a concussion right now, and it's probably pretty much healed. It's been 2 weeks. I still have a little bit of pain and pressure and some dizziness, but it's probably well on its way to being mended. But even so, watching speed builds still makes me a little queasy sometimes. So I have a better appreciation for what people who are sensitive to these particular kind of motions go through when they're watching speed builds. But I tried to cut this one down as much as I could while still leaving, the bulk of the actual build in there. It is a fairly good sized build though. I end up moving it from this lot as soon as I get the main structure built. I end up moving it from this lot to a bigger lot because my initial thought was I was gonna try to make almost a tiny house version of this. But once I got building, I didn't like that idea. I just wanted it to be the full size family home. So you'll see me cut here in just a second, and then we're at a different lot in Newcrest because I wanted it to be on a bigger lot for the house. Here we go. Here's where I moved it. I think this lot looks a lot better for this house. So anyways, I don't know the style of this house. Like I have some vague understanding. It might fit better in Brindleton Bay maybe with that sort of style. I wasn't going for any one particular thing. Like I said, I just saw the shape and liked it and wanted to create something similar of my own. And yeah, it's just I guess maybe a basic, almost generic in a way, family home, but it's still cute. I guess I find these kind of homes cute. The more simplistic ones to be cute. I'm not into all of those, well, if you've been to any of my speed builds before, if you've seen any of them before, generally I like to keep things simple, either with the house or with the landscaping, and on occasion with both. I just think less is more. I guess. And it makes it so much easier to decorate, and I'm more of a player, so I'm always thinking in terms of how is this going to affect gameplay too. So, those are always the things on my minds, on my minds, no, on my mind when I am building. I don't know why. It's a video game. You would think you could let loose and just go all out with it, but I can't. I insist. I guess my brain is just stuck in this pattern, and this is what it likes and this is what it's going with. So anyways, yeah, I also like to do more base game or limited pack builds around the time of new packs coming out, because then they could potentially fit in better. You know what I mean? You can take these builds and mix some of the new pack stuff in with, and not have a bunch of missing items. There have been some discussions off and on in the community in various places. What is the better way to go about builds? Do you do it with, like, some of us, not many, but some of us pretty much own everything. There are a handful of kits that I don't have, that I didn't buy, and there are a few kits that I have that I wouldn't have normally bought had I not have been making videos for them or gotten them from the EA Creator Network, to be honest with you. Like the lingerie underwear kit, I personally never would have bought that had I not have gotten it from, no, did I buy that one or did I get that one from the EA Creator Network? I don't remember, but I remember wanting to do videos about the two kits that had been released around that time, and so that's the only reason why I got it. Otherwise I wouldn't have. It's just not my thing. Okay, looking back, I bought that one myself, and the only reason why I bought it was because I think it came out the same time or right around the same time as the bathroom clutter kit, and I wanted to do videos for them. I haven't done videos for every kit, but I have done videos for quite a few of them. Probably starting around, oh gosh, I don't even remember now. Anyways, the point is, I don't own every kit, but I own a fair share of them, and most of them are only because I wanted to do videos about them. And you know what? I might this week or next week do a video about what I purchased, what I've gotten from the EA Creator Network, and what I would purchase again, or why I purchased them, and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, beyond kits, I own all of the expansion, game, and stuff packs, with the exception of the Star Wars one. I refuse to buy that one. I will not buy it. But other than that, it's just the kits that I don't own all of. But that is incredibly unusual. That is not normal to buy everything, especially if you just started playing The Sims 4 when the base game, became free. There's no way you would probably have every single pack already by this point. I've been playing it since it came out 10 years ago, and I bought the packs as they were coming out. And when it was first released, it was on the same basic schedule that all the other Sims games had been on. So it wasn't like we were getting kits every other month, 2, 3, 4 kits every other month, and then, 3 expansion packs in a year. I don't think there was ever a time before where we got 3 expansion packs in 1 year. I don't ever remember that being a thing. I do remember getting 1 expansion pack about every 6 months or so, which was what, roughly about $30-$40 every 6 months. That's the equivalent of one game every 6 months. So it wasn't that bad back then. But now you have not just the expansion packs, but you have a ton of stuff and game packs. The previous 2 iterations had a few, yes, they had a fair few, but again, it was every 6 months or so that packs were being released. It was not every other month that we were getting new content for those other games. So it was a lot more doable, is what I'm saying. And now with the amount of content that The Sims 4 has, the amount of time it's been available for, and the fact that they've really ramped up the DLC in recent years and we're just getting tons of it now, it makes it a lot less doable for a lot of people. And for me personally, knowing what that is like, not being able to get everything all the time, I think that is what makes me feel more inspired or have more of a desire to do more limited pack and or base game only stuff. You know what I mean? Because I get it. So this is the only weird part of this entire build, and if you decide to download this build, feel free to completely delete it. Again, this is a base game only build, so I was trying to do what I could with very limited amount of items, and I wanted the children to have like a little playhouse slash tent type thing in the backyard, but I didn't want to use any mods that might like tool mod or anything, because while tool mod itself generally won't present a problem in your game from my builds, it also has the potential, it does have the potential, I should say, of creating I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, the builds can get messed up. It's not gonna create problems with your game, but it could create problems with that one build. It's so, I don't like messing with it too much. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I lost my explanation halfway through and now I don't remember what I was gonna say. Can I blame that on my concussion? Probably not. It's something I've done several times before. Anyways, the point is, I was doing the best I could with no CC, no mods, no other than move objects on cheat, nothing outside of that. And yeah, this is what we get for a little kid's backyard tent. I tried. It's probably the only thing in the entire build that I don't absolutely love. I think it's a cute concept, but when you're doing base game only, this is what you're gonna end up with when you try to do stuff like this. So it was an experiment. You let me know down in the comments whether you think it was a failed experiment or not. It's kind of cute, I guess. Maybe what it is the yard is too small for it and it's too squished. It should have been stretched out a little bit longer in a little bit of a bigger yard, and then maybe it would have looked a little better potentially. I don't know. You let me know down in the comments what you think of it. So I did include a small attic in this one. I set the attic up to be usable, meaning I decorated it and stuff. There is stuff up there. This is not a starter home, by the way, and yes, at some point, I do realize that somehow I managed to keep the cheat box up, and I typed a whole bunch of W's in it for some reason. I don't know how that happened or why. But yeah, it happened. It's there. I'll get rid of it in a second here. But I just thought that was a funny little thing that happened, and I figured I might as well point it out. It's up in the upper part of the screen. But yeah, as you can see, I did decorate the attic sort of, kind of, partly as an attic, but also partly as a usable room, kind of. There's like old furniture and old TV and stuff up there, and your Sims can go up there and watch TV. And I don't remember what else I included, if that was it or not. But yeah, I think adding that attic space on and putting furniture up there and just using some of the more expensive base game stuff, this is definitely not a starter home by any means. It's fairly expensive. It's fairly good sized house. So yeah, it's not cheap, unfortunately. And this is a little like 3 seasons, 4 seasons enclosed patio room for like gardening and stuff, or a place to just hang out in the winter time, I guess. Or a place for the parents to sit and like sip cold drinks and maybe have a fan on them or something while the kids are outside playing in that weird tent. You know what I mean? And they can still keep their eye on them because of all the windows. I don't know. It's just a cute little indoor outdoor space, I guess. And I put a few plants in there. Most of the planters I left empty so that your Sims could do some gardening. But there is one there that I did put a rose bush in just to make it cute. And then we moved to the inside here where I had put just like stairs and stuff in there just as placeholders. So now obviously I'm going in and adding real stairs and furniture and floors and walls and all that kind of stuff. This part threw me a little bit because I don't like doing that where the things are not lined up and symmetrical and stuff. But I thought, you know what, with the window and curtains right next to it, maybe it'll look fine, I guess. And it didn't turn out too bad. It's probably, like in a real life house, it would probably look a little bit on the strange side. But I think it turned out okay in this little setup here. And I figured since I always go white wood for almost everything I build, I thought I'd go a little bit of a medium or darker tone wood for most things this time. And yeah, nothing in particular in mind, just kind of trying to get everything to look good together. No particular style or anything in mind. I think when you do base game only, like each pack on its own has its own style. And so when you do base game only, you're more or less kind of you really don't have a lot of different styles to choose from. There's a little bit semi-industrial stuff. There's a little bit of modern stuff, but then there's a lot of just sort of traditional. They call it Mission or they call it Queen Anne or whatever, and there are some slight differences between those, but basically for someone like me who isn't absolutely in love with this style and is not my normal style, it's all just basic traditional stuff. To be honest, it works together for the most part. I guess I could see how some of the Queen Anne stuff doesn't go perfectly with the Mission style stuff, but in my head it's still all just very traditional furniture. It's not modern, it's not industrial, it's traditional. And that is just how I see all of it. And I don't normally I wouldn't. I guess I can't say I don't normally because I do build with it quite a bit. Actually, I try to mix up my styles a lot. But if it was just for me building for myself, I wouldn't normally use it. For one thing, I find modern and transitional, so not quite traditional and not quite modern, but somewhere in between type decorating to be so much easier, and it just appeals to me so much more than traditional does for the most part, with the exception of a few things. I don't know. I guess because it's so simplistic, it just feels easier to me. I don't know if that's actually true, though. I shouldn't say it is easier because that's my personal opinion. It feels like it's easier to me. How about that? Anyways, I did also set up a little office nook here in the side. I thought this was the perfect little space for it. And if this was a real life house, that's exactly what a real life family would do too. I think is set up a little office space there in that little nook. And I didn't even plan it that way. It just happened. It just ended up being the perfect little space for a perfect little office setup. And then I made a little kitchen, or what I thought was gonna be a little kitchen. It's actually a decent size. It's not huge by any stretch, and you definitely could include more countertops. I chose not to only because I already felt at this point that I was getting too high up there in money. And I wanted to be able to include some more decorative pieces, so I decided not to add too many more countertops. This is more than enough for your Sims to actually work on, so I figured it was fine. I was gonna say something. Oh, right. So oftentimes I will work on a room and then I'll leave and I'll go work on another room and then I'll remember something or I'll think of something else to do and I'll go back and work on the first room that I was working on. I don't know, does that annoy people? That's just how my brain works. I skip around a lot. I don't generally complete an entire room, or I'll forget things and I'll need to go back and add them. Does that bother people? I don't know. I never thought about it before, but I saw someone on Twitter mention a few pet peeves that they had about how creators build certain things one time, and it got me thinking, well, if those things are pet peeves, what about bouncing around from room to room and not finishing an entire room all at once? Does that bother people too? I don't know. I'd love to know, though, if that's something that is a pet peeve of people. Let me know down in the comments. And about the color scheme in this house, I have no idea where it came from. I did this house the way I do all of my speed builds over the course of multiple days. An hour here, a half hour there, 15 minutes another time, you know what I mean? So it was I started with pink and purple, I guess, in the landscaping outside, and somehow that morphed to green for the backyard and the back patio, or not patio, but 3 seasons room or 4 seasons room or whatever they're called. And then that morphed to blue for the dining room. And then I thought, well, I better carry on that blue from the dining room into the living room. So I guess I was just kind of all over the place with it. I don't know where I was going with it. I think it ends up being really cute this way, though. It's not all green and blue or all pink and purple or whatever. We've got lots of different colors going on everywhere, which is what I love. I love to have lots of different colors of all different shades and tints all over the place all the time. I just love colorful things. If you go back to my videos where I'm using face cam, I don't generally use face cams for speed builds because everything is moving so fast, and the build is supposed to be like the main point of the video. So I don't generally use face cam for speed builds, but if you go back to one of my videos where I do have face cam, there is a picture just over my shoulder of bubbles being blown, and one popped, and I just happened to snap a picture as the bubble was popping. And I have two prints of that picture, one giant sized in my living room, and then the one smaller one here in my recording room, because I love that picture so much because it encapsulates everything that I love. I love all things bright and colorful, and it's got a lot of different colors going on in it. Pretty much every color of the rainbow, I think, except orange. Yeah, looking backwards at it right now, the only color it doesn't have in it is orange, but it's got pinks and purples and blues and greens and yellows, and I just love that. And then it's playful, it's fun, it's bubbles being blown from a bubble, like an electric bubble wand thing. I love that. And then on top of it, it's a bubble popping. Like, for once in my life, I snapped a picture at just the absolute most perfect moment, and I got a picture of a bubble popping. I thought that was the most fantastic thing in the world. But it's also my daughter. It's my daughter's hand, and she's playing with bubbles. So, it's all the different things that I love in the world. But it's just such a colorful picture that I had to have it twice in my house because I just love colorful things. Oh, hey, look at that. We went back to green for the bedroom, apparently. I don't even remember doing that. Technically, I built this a week ago. I do have 3 Sims videos for you already prepared and ready to go for this week because I was taking it slow on everything, and it was hard enough just to record the videos. I couldn't also edit them because of my concussion. So I've been taking it slow the last couple of weeks, and now I have a few videos already ready for you to already ready to go. What? You know what I was trying to say. Anyways, I have a few Sims videos for this week, and they're pretty much ready to go. Just a little bit of editing or voiceover work, and they're ready to go. So I may have forgotten a few things since I actually recorded these. I think I use green in bedrooms a lot because it's a very natural color. It's like one of the most natural colors in my mind. It's green. Trees are green, plants are green, grass is green. Like, green is everywhere all the time. Unless you live in a northern state where 8 months out of the year it's cold, dreary, brown, or dead. But there's a lot of green everywhere. It's a generally soothing, calming color. I think that's why I use it in bedrooms a lot. And since we are on to the parents' bedroom, at this point, I should also mention that being that it's base game only, it's really hard to clutter things because you don't have a lot of clutter in the base game. So there are surfaces that are basically left empty and stuff. And, you know, even when I'm doing multi-pack or unlimited pack builds, I still don't end up cluttering a lot of surfaces. One, I don't like it, but two, not everybody, again, has all those packs. And if they only have base game or something, their surfaces are going to be mostly empty anyways, because base game, even if you had two of the expansion packs, like there's just not a ton of small clutter items in this game. Even if you had the everyday clutter kit, which I recommend for everyone, or the bathroom clutter kit, which again I also recommend for everyone, even if you have those two, it's still not a massive amount of clutter that you are able to clutter up every single surface everywhere with. There just isn't enough stuff like that. So we have a small children's bedroom there that I just got done. I did it all in blue, so you can have either boys or girls in there. I think blue is a fairly neutral color for most people, for girls or boys. I didn't have any particular kids in mind, and then I left a nursery sort of basically empty. I sort of decorated it, but then just left a, I was going to say plate pen. That's not a plate pen. What is that? That is a bassinet. That's what that is. A bassinet in the center of the room, so that if you decide to have more kids, you can. If you decide not to, you can just get rid of it and move one of the other kids in there instead. And then we have the bathroom here. Whoops. We have the bathroom here. I accidentally clicked on something. But anyways, we're done. So let's get into the walkthrough now. And here is obviously the front of the house as it looks from street view. All those fresh, fluffy flowers and shrubs and trees. This actually turned out really cute. I'm not very good at this kind of landscaping, but this one actually turned out kind of cute. And then we have the little front patio area, or front porch area. Then you walk directly into the living room. We have a little place for coat and shoes. We have the kitchen over here. Some lunch boxes for the kids. And then a big open dining room. Plenty of space for everyone. Little walkway here, which separates the little tiny office nook and downstairs bathroom. It's only a half a bath. There is room for a shower if you want to put a shower in there. I did not. Then we go out to 3 seasons, 4 seasons, patio, whatever you want to call it, room with all the windows. That window should not be, like, that should be a window there on the side. I don't know why that happens with the windows in The Sims 4 sometimes. Just click on it and it'll go back to normal. Anyways, here's the tent and monkey bars area for the kids to play in. And then we just have a little walkway that leads out to the front over here on the side with a hose for watering all that fluffy garden stuff. And there's another look at that little makeshift kids playhouse tent. We'll go inside and look around. They can play with the toys. There are lights in there. I used the 2 robot lamps because I thought they were the closest thing to what looked like battery operated lights or lanterns of some kind, and so that's where my mind was at for that. So let's head upstairs. There's the attic ladder. I didn't really do much in the hallway. It's just a basic open hallway. And then we have the bathroom here. Just a little bathroom, but perfect for a little family. Then the nursery that you can use if you so choose. Here's the very adorable little blue kids bedroom. I love this bedroom. It's so cute. And then we can head over through the hallway. You could put like career reward items or skill items in there. Here's the parents' bedroom again. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh no, the attic. That's right. I forgot about the attic. Here's the attic. And it's just like some old junk, but then an old sofa you can sit on and watch the old TV. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you feel compelled, leave a comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.